actually makes things much worse. All right, well, we're going to talk right now about the president. And we are told he has tapped one of his longtime lawyers to help him with the investigation into his campaign's alleged ties to Russia. The Fox Business Network's Charlie Gasparino broke the story last night. As you know, former FBI Director Robert Mueller is leading the probe into accusations of collusion and obstruction of justice. Attorney Mark Krasowitz has worked for President Trump for years, and he's well known for sparring with reporters, so he should fit right in. Now, in the past, he has defended Trump in a number of real estate and fraud cases, but legal experts say this new case is far more complex and high profile than anything he's done before. So what does this mean for the investigation and the administration? What does this say to you about his choice of lawyer, that loyalty is greater than some sort of knowledge?
Well, absolutely. He has to have trust and the ability to have somebody who can speak back to him on points and have an honest discussion. But I would also make it clear, like, Kasowitz is the first of a team of legal people that are going to be defending Donald Trump. And it's important to make that distinction because White House counsel defends the office of the president. Yeah. But this is Donald Trump, and his organization needs to be defended because some of these investigations go back to private citizen Donald Trump before he got elected. Yeah, absolutely, including in Trump Tower, where there were 2 Russian banks that were the subject of FISA memos. So John Brennan, a person whom I don't necessarily trust. You know, when we talk about the politicization of the deep state and of various intelligence organizations, I think you can really point to him first and foremost. But what did his testimony say to you? What do you think? What do you think Brennan's feeling about the ties between Russia and the Trump campaign?
He feels pretty strongly about them. He feels like there's definitely a there. He didn't seem to have a smoking gun. Yeah. But you know what I found out of his testimony that was most interesting was driving home the point of how incompetent he thinks Trump is to be trusted with intelligence. Yeah. And flying off half-cocked and basically saying, you know, we can share intelligence with the Russians, but there's a way to do it. There's a way to have it done through channels where things aren't lost in translation, and Trump is very good at messing things up in translation. So I thought that was a valued point that Brennan made in the midst of all the other stuff where he seemed to be indicating that there was untoward associations between Trump's campaign and the Russians.
I know, but I guess there's a difference between, you know, untoward associations, because the point is the Russians are going to try and screw with anyone. They're going to do whatever they can to influence people and get to know people in power to move the needle in their direction, favorably for them. And there's a big difference between that and screwing around with voting machines. Yes. Yes. And having some sort of a noticeable, measurable impact on the election. I guess that's what I'm looking for, basically, is data. Like, show me some proof. Show me some numerical proof that Russia did something here and that had the effect over here.
I don't really think that it had a measurable effect. Regardless, I'm interested to know, obviously, whether there's collusion or there's not collusion. Yeah. But it's gotten to the point where there's not really many people who feel that way. There's people who feel that way of, there's obviously collusion and we're going to find it, and how dare you're denying, and there's people who say, well, there's no collusion and this is a witch hunt and it's just 2 camps. Yeah. And everybody should be interested in whether there was or whether there wasn't. These hearings, he's saying maybe, but he doesn't have evidence yet either. I'm totally just saying, guess what? I don't know anything about how to investigate this kind of thing, and guess what? I don't have to. So I'm just going to wait and see. And so many people just aren't comfortable enough to do that. I don't know if they have a hard time being vulnerable.
I think people want the truth. Yeah, but everyone is giving their shaded version of events and acting like it's
the word "hacked the election" should just stop.
What does it even mean?
What does it
mean? And by the way, John Podesta, don't use password as your password.
Really bad word.
All right, well, we gotta move along. The party panel is returning a little bit later. First up, President Trump tomorrow sets to meet with NATO leaders, where he is expected to discuss the future of the alliance. One Republican senator criticizing a major military deal he made in one of his earlier stops. I'm going to talk about it with Ambassador John Bolton. That's next.